expected to be at because Emily has always told us she will never have a wedding. She will get married, but not a wedding. She goes to weddings, but she's like, no, I don't want to make this decision. It's just not for me. She never dreamt of being a bride. She never dreamt of being a bride. Her role model was Ally McBeal, and she wanted to wear cute suits and carry a briefcase, and she does that. And then they got engaged, and Matt was like, okay, let's plan a wedding. And Emily made the one decision she wanted to make: Santa Monica Courthouse or Beverly Hills Courthouse. And Matt's like, well, no, I want a wedding, So she said, okay, immediate families only, destination, pick a country. He's like, Zika, I got friends I want a wedding, I want a big wedding. He probably is now kicking himself, Found the one woman in the world who didn't want a wedding, and I'm like, Right? Oh my gosh, okay, so she says, okay, I'll do a wedding, but it's gonna be fast wedding. So I'm like, okay, bridal gown, that's me, you and me tomorrow, we're gonna go buy it. So we go to the store, buy the bridal gown. I say to the owner right away, we need a wedding gown, we need it fast. She goes, oh, I understand. She looks at Emily and goes, and how big will she be? I'm like, no, it's just a fast wedding, She's looking at me like, yeah, you're being duped, Mom, So she says, Emily, do you want a trumpet dress or a flamingo dress? I was like, I don't know. She's like, Emily, close your eyes. Envision yourself. What are you wearing as a bride? I swear to God. Emily goes, whatever I had on at work that day, because she's Alex, she's going to the courthouse, right? That's her. And so then an hour later, honestly, she's tried on 20 or 30 dresses. She chooses the most unonly thing you've ever seen. It's ethereal. It's just like cotton candy. And she's got this big skirt on, and we texted to my daughter-in-law, who says, whoa, I didn't expect that. That's really big. And so do you think she can dance with that in that? Can she hug that in that, So I say, well, let's figure it out. So we make a big space in the bridal shop, and people are all around. I'm you, Matt, and Emily and I are dancing, we're waltzing, and I'm twirling her, I'm hugging her, you can hug her, and she's laughing, and she's like, maybe this wedding thing's not so bad after all, right? But then they got into the venue stuff, and got a little angstier, because they wanted everybody in one space, and that's really, really hard to do in Los Angeles. So my husband and I had a vacation planned, and we were leaving them, and we were leaving Emily, and we were staying at their house the night before because they're close to the airport. And we woke up the next morning. Rich and I are in the bathroom getting ready to go, and I'm feeling like a bad mom because she's in a state of flux, and it's a fast wedding. The date's set. My sister's already bought her airline tickets, and they don't have the venue. And there's a little knock on the door, and I think she's saying goodbye. And we open it up, and it's Matt. You probably don't know this. And Matt said, I just want to let you know, we're going to figure this out. And I really don't care where I get married. All I care is on January 7th, I marry Emily. And he's like, I love your daughter, and that is all that is important. So we had a great vacation. And Matt's, I think 24 hours, it's pretty much in the bag. You're going to get it. One other little story. And when Em came home from college, she didn't have a job yet. She didn't like what was being offered, so she said she's going to move back home for a little bit. And in the evening, she would go off and she would tutor high school students in SAT prep and college stuff. She'd drive to their houses, and she got a few more students, and so she said, this isn't very efficient, so she went to a coffee shop and she tutored them there every hour. But high school students, they cancel a lot, and so she's stuck with an hour to kill in between at this coffee shop. She goes, Mom, what would be really efficient is if I set up shop in my bedroom at home. I was like, all right, let's get some office furniture. She's like, yeah, then if the kid cancels, we can have dinner, I can work out, sounds good. And then she does this marketing blitz, and she ends up servicing 400 families in the Sacramento area. Okay. Every hour, one teenager walks in the door, and one teenager goes out of the door, like 13 hours a day on Sundays. And a lot of the kids don't drive yet, so their parents drop them off, and they're in the dining room, and then they're in the kitchen with us, and then we eventually changed the doorbell so it just rings straight into her bedroom. And the president, why have it ring in the house? Because no one can visit us, because we have to be quiet, because we're like a tutoring center now, We can't cook broccoli, we can't cook fish, because it's a tutoring center, So I just said, around this time, I'm like, we need to charge her rent, right? So I call my sister-in-law lot of grace. She goes, oh, totally appropriate, did it with my kids. So the day I sat Emily down and said, we're gonna charge you rent, like it's probably still one of the darkest days of her life. And she just took it so personally, you know. She's like, that's it, I'm out of here, I'm getting an apartment. And we're like, high five, you know. So off she goes to find a place and comes back that evening and goes, well, I decided to stay here, I'm so happy about it, you know. So every month she would write a check to us and just get worked up all back over again, slam it down and walk off to her room and call her brother to complain about this, you know. And her brother would have his own, he was in college, and he would be complaining like, oh, I got a care package from home today and I thought it was cookies that mom made and instead it's like recorded Oprah shows that she thinks will be good for my character, you know. And Emily's like, seriously, you're watching Oprah tapes? I'm paying to live in my own bedroom, you know. So this went on and on. She complained to many people over the years. So Emily knows the story. I mean, like, truth be told, I felt a little bit guilty because she was a good roommate. But so what I did, and this is the part of the story you don't know. A month into it, I said I started an account called Emily's Wedding. So every month you would write your check. And she'd slam down and run off, talk to people, and I would put in a little envelope and put a little deposit slip that's in Emily's Wedding and send it off. And if you think that you did not get any sympathy from your aunts and uncles and your brother and everything, everyone has known about Emily's Wedding for 13 years. It's the longest secret we've ever had in this family. So